Prime Cabinet Secretary calls for youth to reject violence and tribalism, saying that no young life should be sacrificed for political expediency.
Police arrest middle-aged man over murder of 23-year-old woman in business town.
Women asked to strengthen understanding of cross-border markets to improve competition.
And in sports, stage is set for Women Africa Cup of Nations, set for kickoff this Sunday.
From wherever you're watching in Kenya and around the world, this is Prime Edition, and it begins right now with a look at our top stories tonight.
What happened to Albert Ojwang?
The hearing of the murder case of the late teacher cum blogger begins at the Kibra Law Court. Help us preach peace.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi urges the church to intervene and promote national unity. And time is running out.
Secondary schools have until Friday, July 24th, 2026 to submit learner data for the release of government capitation.
Scales of Justice ni story gani? Thank you so much for joining us. We want to warmly welcome you from wherever you're watching. I'm Mboya.
I am Muchuma Irene.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Tom. It has been a minute, right?
Oh, it has. Our sign language interpreter
is Anne Wangeshi.
And our socials?
At KBC Channel 1, both on YouTube as well as on Facebook, as well as on X.
That's right. Speak to us. Let us know what your thoughts on some of these stories that we're covering for you tonight. And we begin with our lead story. Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and Director of Criminal Investigations Mohammed Amin honored a habeas corpus summon at the Milimani High Court to where the families of the three men who disappeared under unclear circumstances on Sunday, the 21st of June, 2026, from three different locations here in Nairobi County, testified.
Details in our Scales of Justice segment.
Justice Alexander Muteti had ordered Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja and Director of Criminal Investigations Mohammed Amin to present themselves in court to explain the whereabouts of three missing persons, Evans Omondi, Macmilla Kiare, and Michael Osoro. Kanja and Amin were, however, allowed to leave while family members of the three missing men testified.
Ishirini na mbili, that was on Monday. Mwezi wa sita.
The matter was adjourned to Thursday, July 23, 2026, where an additional three witnesses are expected to testify.
That's why I'm giving you 11:30. So that you find your way here. Of the family.
Elsewhere, 23-year-old Amos Nyingi Wambua, who is the prime suspect in the murder of a woman and her two children in Kathiani, Machakos County, has been arraigned before the Machakos law courts. However, he did not take a plea after the prosecution requested 5 more days to complete investigations.
Niweza kuona mguu wa mtoto mchanga ambao ulikuwa umebebwa na mbwa na ukapelekwa katika boma lililo karibu na kichaka. Hapo ndipo tulipigia polisi simu kujia hiyo mguu.
Tunauliza wananchi mahali popote walipo, kama kuna mtu amepoteza watu wao, ikiwezekana wapige ripoti polisi ili waweze kuelekezwa kwenye chumba cha kuhifadhi maiti Kathiani, waone kama waweza kutambua hiyo miili.
And in Bomet County, 3 men were arraigned at the Sotik Magistrates Court facing 6 counts of cheating. The accused denied all the charges and were each given a bond of 2 million shillings. The case will be mentioned on Thursday, July the 30th, 2026.
Entered for each accused persons. Each accused is hereby admitted to a bond of 2 million shillings with 1 surety, or cash bail of 1 million each, or be remanded in custody. Mentioned on 30th of this month, 2026.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has called on the youth to reject violence, divisive politics and tribalism, saying no young life should be sacrificed for political expediency.
Addressing the 21st Plenary Assembly of the Association of Member Episcopal Conference, in Eastern Africa, hosted by the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops in Nairobi, Mudavadi cautioned that the country must not slide into anarchy.
This follows rising concerns of Gunism in politics, most recently witnessed in the All-Kalau by-elections.
The Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops on Monday hosted bishops and other religious leaders under the umbrella of the 21st Plenary Assembly of the Association of Member Episcopal Conferences in Eastern Africa.
Not to pay attention to youthful society not only marks of recklessness, but is also tragically irresponsible.
We have gathered here this week to reflect on the pressing needs of our societies and to renew our shared commitment to peace, justice, and good governance in our nations.
The official opening of the 8-day meeting at Catholic University of Eastern Africa also brought together government officials, including Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, Nairobi County Governor Johnson Sakaja, and various principal secretaries.
I've had a journey in leadership as a young person, and I believe your theme is very, very relevant to the experience that our region is going through today.
Mudavadi used the occasion to plead with the church to use its moral authority to promote national unity ahead of the 2027 general election.
Talk to the warring and conflicting parties. Get them to sit under one roof, on the same table, and stop the violence. We rely on you. We depend on you.
The Prime Cabinet Secretary urged the youth to reject politicians who want to use them against political rivals.
One of our most devastating moments, one of our darkest moments, was the post-election violence that ensued after 2007-8 elections. We lost 1,400 young people to violence. Violence from Gunism, violence from bullets, both ways. Politically instigated violence.
Mudavadi warning that peace is the country's greatest asset, saying economic development cannot be sustained in an environment of instability.
As we have seen with the crisis in the Middle East and in Europe, even the most beautiful airports have become ghost buildings just because one critical ingredient is missing: peace.
Give us Nmaina Prime Edition.
On to a story compiled by Marie Ambo. Secondary schools have until Friday, the 24th of July 2026, to submit learner data that will determine the release of government capitation.
The Ministry of Education warns that schools and education officers who fail to comply risk denying thousands of learners critical funding.
At the same time, the government is stepping up efforts to strengthen inclusive education through a nationwide assessment of learners with disabilities.
Here is that report.
The Ministry of Education has issued a final call to secondary schools to submit learner records before the Friday, July 24th, 2026 deadline, saying the data will determine the release of government capitation and support education planning across the country. Speaking during a sensitization forum on assistive devices and technologies at the Kenya Institute of Special Education, KISE, The ministry's head of Directorate of Field Coordination, Nelson Sifuna, said only 2.6 million learners' records have been received against an expected 3.2 million.
We are giving timelines so that they go and ensure by that time all the children have been enrolled in KBC, and where there are challenges, we come in to assist.
He noted that beyond determining capitation for secondary schools, the data will also guide planning and resource allocation for learners in primary and junior schools.
Any projection that we do will be based on the data that is in KBC. That is why we are requesting, we started with the senior school, and it is ongoing. We want them to accelerate to ensure all the learners are captured.
The forum also focused on strengthening inclusive education. According to KISE Director Dr. Norman Kiogora, the institute has been given 2 months to coordinate a nationwide needs assessment to identify learners with disabilities.
We should be able to come up with a tool to help us know the needs of all the learners so that the factory can be useful in giving specific devices to address specific needs of all the learners so that it becomes useful to them.
The findings are expected to guide evidence-based interventions and improve access to inclusive education across the country. Maria Ambo reporting for the Prime Edition.
On to a story we highlighted for you at the beginning of the broadcast. The hearing of the murder case of the late teacher cum blogger Albert Ojwang began Monday at the Kibra Law Court with the first prosecution witness testifying that CCTV footage was tampered with after the incident at the Central Police Station in Nairobi.
Justice Diana Kavetsa also heard that under the orders of the former officer commanding station Samson Talam, the CCTV footage was deleted manually to conceal evidence of what transpired in the police cells on the night of June 2025.
Here is that report.
Everyone. At the start of the murder trial to establish circumstances that led to the death of Albert Omondi Ojwang, the prosecution team led by Gekoi Geshoe told the court they have a watertight case to show the teacher cum blogger was killed in custody.
And being a police.
Taking to the witness stand, Alonio Kwako, a CCTV operator, testified that he was asked to arrive at the Central Police Station in Nairobi with 2 new flash disks.
Na ilikuwa vile ulisema uliingia ofisi ya OCS. Ilikuwa wapi kwa hiyo ofisi? Na pahali ilikuwa wapi?
Ilikuwa kwa ukuta, karibu ilikuwa kwa ukuta na TV pamoja hapo hivi.
Later that day, Okwako claimed he was also called by the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA detectives, to help retrieve a certain CCTV footage.
Waliniambia after kupiga picha wamemaliza kila kitu, wakaanza kuchukua record, wakaniambia sasa naweza fungua. Nilipata DVR, the power connector, ilikuwa imedisconnectiwa.
He also informed the court that while checking the CCTV footage, he noticed the machine was switched off and manipulated.
Na ikuwa hapo.
Next to testify was a protected witness, a police officer who was on duty at the Central Police Station in Nairobi. She stated that she had the former OCS Samson Talam order deletion of the CCTV footage.
Ulishikwa na nani?
OCS officers.
Unajua siku ile ulishikwa? Nani? 13th of June?
Yes.
Okay. So, ulishikwa na DCI officers, mukafanya nini?
Walipeleka kwa hiyo helikopta yao.
Ulikuwa na mtu mwingine? Yes. Ulikuwa na nani?
The hearing will continue on Tuesday, July 21st, 2026, where more witnesses are expected to testify. Talam and his 5 co-accused have been in custody since their arrest after they were denied bond. Ruth Owamboy for Prime Edition.
It's 10 minutes past the top of the hour. That story bringing us to our first break here on Prime Edition. But coming up,
health workers are blaming the governors for failing them, and thus they are calling for an industrial strike if action is not taken.
It's not taken. Kasichana Masha will be bringing us the details of that story. And also, the Union of Kenya Civil Service rejects government's latest salary review. We will be giving you details of that in just a moment. Stay with us.
Quite a game. It'll be a free kick. Oh, what a goal! Ecstasy, euphoria, and emotion overflows.
Today I'm cooking ugali na Ajab Premium Maize Meal. Enjoy the amazing aroma. Enjoy incredibly soft ugali done. Ingia ligi ya kipekee na Ajab Premium Maize Meal.
Every future begins somewhere. Sometimes it begins here. When money begins to move, so does prosperity. Through the people who keep the engine running, planning today while securing tomorrow, turning ambition into legacy and ideas into the future. Across oceans, across time zones, prosperity always finds its way home. When prosperity moves, it lifts everyone along the way.
Odim National, prosperity for all. Forever.
Alvarez, who sets the tone with his intensity up top.
And this is sharp from Spain. Ruiz to Olmo, to Oriazabal, to Ruiz again. Could he have got a shot at goal here?
First chance to really got in behind that Argentinian midfield. Just thinking, get a shot off, don't lay it off. He's trying to find the perfect goal.
Life is unpredictable, and accidents may happen, leading to disability, sometimes death. Protect yourself against the uncertainties of disability, death, or medical expenses related to an accident by purchasing a personal accident policy. Read and understand the terms and conditions of your policy. This message is brought to you by the Insurance Regulatory Authority, IRA. IRA, Bima Bora kwa Taifa.
Welcome back, our socials.
At KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Let's go to one of our top stories, Tom.
That's right. In the second part of this bulletin, police in Isinya, Kajiado County have arrested a 30-year-old man over the murder of a 23-year-old woman.
Detectives say the suspect, who is a former boyfriend of the deceased, was apprehended at his hideout in Mala along Kangundo Road.
Here's that report.
Grief and anguish engulfed the family of 23-year-old Gaudentia Amwai as they struggled to come to terms with her demise in what detectives believe is a case of femicide. Gaudentia's body was discovered in her rental house at Suko's estate by her boyfriend after she failed to answer phone calls. A post-mortem conducted at Kitengela Sub-County Hospital established that she died from manual strangulation.
Head injury, it is there, but not
is not the cause of death. Then everything else was intact. And we are looking for defense injuries which we did not see. So hakuwa na chance ya kujikinga.
Family members say the deceased had previously complained of threats from her former boyfriend after their relationship ended nearly a year ago, but never imagined the threats would end in tragedy.
Former ex wake walikuwa wameachana 1 year, tuseme like 1 year ago. Juu alikuja current Kitengela, the ex hako Kamulu. So walikuwa kila mtu ako pathway. Sasa huyu alikuwa ameanza life yake. Sasa ndio akakuja huku. Ni kama alikuja kumwattack na huku mali anaishi. Juu alianza new relationship. I think ilihatu mse ndiye akakuja kumaliza.
Ningeomba tu serikali tusaidie kulingana na uchunguzi wake vile inafanyikana. Tuweze kujua tunaweza kufanya namna gani. Hatuna lolote tunaweza fanya sababu imetendeka na ni uchungu. Jinsi nilivyomuona kama amekuwa, dalili yake sioni kama niko na nguvu sana.
The senior sub-county criminal investigations officer says detectives cracked down the suspect at a hideout in Mala along Kanguda Road, and he is expected to be arraigned in court as investigators seek more time to complete investigations. Jacqueline Masharia for Prime Edition.
Let's now get to Health Watch. A section of health workers has announced a nationwide industrial action accusing the Council of Governors of ignoring their grievances and failing to honor their commitment to absorb the 7,450 universal health coverage workers to permanent and pensionable terms.
The Health Union Caucus says that it has withdrawn 60% of its services in public health facilities, urging Kenyans to seek alternative medical services.
This report was compiled by our reporter.
Viva! Viva! People's power!
The Health Union Caucus, comprising membership from the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, Public Health Practitioners, the Kenya Laboratory Officers, and Kenya Pharmaceuticals, have officially kicked off its nationwide strike after issuing numerous notices to the Council of Governors.
We were here last week. We were here 2 weeks ago. And we were here about 5 weeks ago and shared a demand, a 21-day demand notice to the government, reminding them that they had an obligation that they had committed to the universal health coverage staff to ensure that they convert their employment engagement from contracts to permanent and pensionable terms.
If this is the only way we can communicate with the Council of Governors, then be it. So we are humbly saying on Wednesday, something will take place and there will be a standstill in our hospitals.
The caucus has faulted governors for failing universal health coverage workers.
We have gone to the streets, we have been given the money, and to date, as we are speaking, that the universal health coverage staffs, their contracts ended on 30th of June. They have not been on duty. There is no communication. There is no salary expected this month because the national government and the county governments have already closed the payroll for July.
Other grievances include:
we agreed that they were to sign the CBA immediately after suspending the strike. That was on 2nd of February. And we gave even a room for the counties that are actually at the end of this world. Up to date, they have not signed the CBA.
Kenyans who have patients in public hospitals have been urged to seek alternative services.
Right from all the 47 counties, all the governments in this country will actually be lacking services. Right from yesterday. So if you go to Mama Lucy, there are no services. If you go to Pumuani, there are no services. Go to Mbagathi, go to Kuresoi, go to Turkana, everywhere.
The union wants the management of health human resources reverted to the national government. Kasichanda Masha, Prime Edition.
The Union of Kenya Civil Servants has rejected the government's latest salary review, dismissing it as a standard annual increment and not a pay rise.
Union officials, led by the Secretary General Lawrence Ocheng, say the Salaries and Remuneration Commission did not factor in the proposals by the union that considered the harsh economic realities.
They're now giving SRC and the Public Service Ministry a 14-day ultimatum to stop the implementation and return to the negotiating table or face a national strike.
Just days after the Ministry of Public Service and the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, noted a salary increase for civil servants effective July 2026. Solidarity forever. Union of Kenya Civil Servants has come out to reject the implementation, saying it is not a review but a normal increment, and further accusing the government of over-publicizing what they term as minor adjustments.
We have rejected it in total. Nothing. There's nothing here for civil servants. These are normal incrementals. We take issue with SRC and the PS because what has been published and what is purported as salary incrementals are mere annual incrementals that is already guaranteed.
The Union of Kenya Civil Servants has accused its employer and SRC of refusing to consider its counter-offer.
This letter that is on social media comes when the union has not completed its negotiations. We accepted and absorbed what we were given as basic salary for the cycle 2025 to 2028. But the only point of negotiation was that that was not adequate. And therefore we did our counter proposal and we said that that money, instead of spreading it to 2028, it is an opportunity for public service to have harmonized salaries. That is the opportunity that the PS and SRC has denied civil servants.
On allowances, the union says house and commute allowances were last reviewed in 2011, with the lowest cadre getting 2,500 Kenya shillings and 3,000 Kenya shillings respectively.
Civil servants earn house allowance of 2,500. There is no house in this country. There is no landlord in this country who can house someone for 2,500 per month. In the review, it has remained the lowest, it has remained 2,500.
The union's proposal is 6,000 Kenya shillings for a dignified housing and an increase to 4,800 for commuter allowance at the least.
They have refused to listen to public servants. We are left with no other option but also to simultaneously take legal action. If they can't stop it, we'll stop it in court. If they stop it, we will withdraw our court case. We have never, for a long time, as civil servants, gone on strike. But I'm telling you that this one, we will, if they don't respond within 14 days.
Kamche Menza for Prime Edition.
The government has faulted political leaders calling on tourists to avoid Kenya over alleged security concerns, terming the advisory unpatriotic and an attempt to sabotage the economy.
Government spokesperson Isaac Mboya says that the country remains stable and secure for business.
Yusuf Farah reports.
The government is pushing back against what it calls economic sabotage by a section of the political class. Government spokesperson Isaac Mboya terms utterances by a section of the politicians as unpatriotic.
Sio haki kuambia watu ni kana kwamba sasa watu wakisusia utalii itakuwa inamuumiza mtu fulani. Ni sisi sote ambao tunaathirika. Utawezaje kusorotesha uchumi kwa kuambia Wakenya wasiingie kwa kisingizio? Na kama kuna mambo ya kutokuwa na usalama, wizara husika ipo na pia jeshi letu la polisi.
On national politics, Mboya appealed for unity within the Mount Kenya region and urged leaders to stay in government and resolve grievances internally.
Let's negotiate. Let's try to walk the journey together. It's very important. We cannot have a situation where some people are saying, "Oh, we go to the opposition and whatever." No. This is our government, and then also, I mean, really, how can you leave government to go look for another? Well, that is not guaranteed. No, I think that's not logical.
More at the same time, allayed fears of government interference in the management of SACCOs through the SACCO Amendment Bill.
The bill seeks to amend the SACCO Societies Act, Cap 490B, to support smaller SACCOs by reducing operational costs and enhancing financial stability.
The government spokesperson also weighed in on the Ebola isolation facility and claims that 7 Americans are currently in quarantine.
We are not just looking at one facility, there are 23 others to help our country. But let's not also spread rumors, just because some international media has commented about us. As far as we are concerned, we are not aware of those allegations of, I don't know who is in what facility. We are not aware as a government.
Yusuf reporting for Prime Edition.
Did you know livestock insurance safeguards farmers against loss of their animals due to theft and death caused by pests, diseases, accidents, drought, fire, lightning, windstorms, and floods? It covers livestock such as cows, camels, sheep, goats, and poultry. Now you know. Read and understand the terms and conditions of your policy. This message is brought to you by the Insurance Regulatory Authority, IRA. IRA, bima bora kwa taifa.
Umemeni nguvu ya safari yetu, nuru ya kujenga na kuangaza nchi, nuru ya maendeleo, nuru ya ustawi, nuru ya ubunifu.
Dial *977# or download my Power app to access Kenya Power services fast and easy. Kenya Power, nuru ya Kenya.
Welcome back to Prime Edition, our socials.
At KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook, and YouTube.
Tana River County government has decried what it terms as complacency within the National Land Commission and the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, in resolving historical boundary tussles between Tana River County on one hand and its neighbors.
Appearing before the Senate's County Public Accounts Committee, County Governor Dado Godana said the failure by the two commissions to solve historical boundary conflicts has subjected the county government to numerous legal battles that are raising the county's expenditures.
The senators are concerned that the pending legal fee and awards could be accumulating interest, thereby subjecting the county to deeper financial constraints.
The challenge is that in that county would take somebody to properly understand what goes on there that takes us always into legal fees, because then there are issues that would only require us to go to the court. For example, the issue of the boundary between Coast and the northern Kenya has always been a subject. And we've gone to independent commissions. We've spoken about it within the circles of government. And not us today. It has been there. People have been talking about it. And we thought, over and above the commission, then we need to go to court. That is not an issue that the office of the governor can just keep slipping over.
Let's now take you to the counties. Residents of Bamba Ward in Ganza constituency in Kilifi County are urging the government to build a court in the area to ease access to justice.
This and more stories in our county news roundup.
According to the residents, many are discouraged from seeking legal redress due to the distance to the nearest court. A section of residents say it costs more than 2,000 shillings to travel to and from Kilifi town to attend hearings.
Usafiri Gede mpaka Bamba ni 600, kwenda kurudi 1200. Bamba Kilifi 500, kwenda kurudi 1000. Kwa hivyo kwa jumla ni 2200, bila hata kula, bila hata kufanya kingine kile. Kwa hivyo ikiwa koti itakuwa hapa, tutakuwa tumepunguziwa gharama sana.
Elsewhere in Tana River County, a section of residents drawn from Chewele Ward in Bura has condemned the allocation of some of the community land to private investors, claiming the process did not follow due procedure.
Kama mambo inatoka kwa serikali, inafanyiwa kwa public land. Na kama haitafanyiwa kwa public land, then hiyo ni propaganda, ni mambo na wizi, ni mambo na kuibiana, and we are not ready for that.
In Migori County, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has intensified efforts to register new voters in Awendo constituency by targeting students who have attained the legal voting age.
We've been engaging the registrar of persons, that is Bwana Elijah Otieno, to ensure that students who have reached 18 years are able to get the national ID and also participate in national events. That way I'm sure they'll also contribute or be part of the decision making because they are of age.
That is why all stakeholders here are here. We are meeting so that we strategize on how to reach the people who have not registered. There are people here from the Ministry of Education, from the county government, from the national government. The DCC is here. We are meeting so that we discuss on ways to reach these people who have not registered so that they can be registered to participate in the coming 2027 elections.
Still on matters of voter registration, Mandera County Deputy Governor Dr. Ali Maalim has called on residents of Mandera and the wider north and eastern region to take advantage of the ongoing voter registration exercise, as it will ensure the region's voice is reflected in future elections.
We want everybody to make sure that they take advantage of lifting of the vetting. We have not changed much. We want to request all the people of Mandera to ensure, and all the people of northern Kenya, including the 5 counties, Tana River, Isiolo, Marsabit, even including Turkana, to make sure that as pastoralists, as northerners, we show our numbers and we show it strong. And we want to tell people that we are very, very clear in terms of the direction this region is going. And our direction is to go with His Excellency William Samoei Ruto.
From the counties, we come back to broadcasting hours here in the capital, Nairobi, Kenya. Time for a look at the day's business.
Nduta Mukami is on standby with all the latest in the world of business. Nduta, good evening.
Good evening to everyone watching KBC Prime Edition Business News, and thank you, Tom and Irene, for that introduction. Let's take a look at the numbers that run Kenya's economy. Now, women and youth-owned businesses should strengthen their understanding of cross-border market requirements and improve their competitiveness to fully benefit from opportunities under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. State Department for Trade Secretary Michael Mandu says access to information and practical export skills are the key challenges facing the micro, small and medium enterprises that are keen on cross-border trade.
What the procedures are, the clearance at the border, and
many women and youth-led enterprises are yet to benefit from the various bilateral deals secured by Kenya due to limited awareness of export procedures, financing constraints and inadequate export market information.
Government, we are working with the private sector, the financial institutions, to put on the table financing frameworks that are easier for the women to access.
There's still a lot of information gaps with regards to appreciating what are the protocols that they need to use, what are the challenges that they are currently facing when they do it practically.
Speakers at a 2-day capacity building workshop on Africa Continental Free Trade Area in Nairobi say many micro, small and medium enterprises still lack the information needed to export products to other African countries. They also cite lengthy border procedures, among other trade barriers, as the biggest challenges facing small businesses.
It's important that the women learn on how to trade in the most cost-effective way. So by the end of the 2-day workshop, we hope that the women will have more access to markets.
Make the knowledge simple. Make the knowledge the tools for exporting. Make them as simple as possible. Let the also customs also help these people to export as quickly as possible.
We're not talking about theoretical constructs at all. This is, how do I get my goods from Nairobi across the border post to my buyer in Lagos, Nigeria, or to Accra in Ghana.
The 2-day workshop seeks to equip women and youth traders with practical knowledge and compliance requirements and market intelligence to enhance their participation in intra-African commerce. Trevor Ngendo for Prime Edition.
Elsewhere in the world of agriculture, thousands of smallholder farmers in Kirinyaga County are being trained on good agricultural practices in a program aimed at growing production. Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru says farmers are being equipped with practical knowledge on selecting maize varieties suited for different ecological zones and planting seasons, among climate-smart farming practices and available market opportunities to improve productivity and household incomes.
Kwa hivyo ndiposa tuko mahali hapa kukiwa mapema kuwawezesha wakulima kuamua na kuchagua mbegu yenye ambayo itawasaidia katika msimu tunaoenda.
Tumeanza ili tuweze kufikia wakulima wetu wote na waweze kupata elimu ambayo ni bora ili waweze kufanya ukulima wao kwa njia ya kisasa na waweze kupata mazao zaidi kwa faida zaidi.
So that we have this continuous capacity building and skill development with our farmers and also with our extension workers and our staff. And those institutions, if you look, are the same ones which guide the various departments within the county to prioritize what to prioritize in terms of support.
Still on matters agriculture, a new study has found pesticide residues in over 70% of vegetable from markets in Kenya, raising food concerns over safety. The study recommends that consumers soak vegetables in salty water, wash under running water before cooking to protect themselves from potential health risks linked to pesticides residue exposure.
While pesticides contribute significantly to agricultural productivity, concerns have emerged regarding the continued registration and use of several highly hazardous pesticide formulations that have been restricted or withdrawn in other countries. A study by the Kenya Organic Agriculture Network recommends several ways that consumers can use to reduce pesticide residue in vegetables.
That research was conducted at the University of Nairobi in collaboration with other accredited laboratories. And we were able to sample 45 samples from major markets in Nairobi as mentioned, but we wanted to do them here in our local market using our foods that have been contaminated at production and understand how would they do and what can we advise our consumers on.
This study recommends strengthening of legal and institutional framework governing pesticide management and enhancing the capacity of regulatory agencies responsible for pesticide registration, inspection, residue monitoring, and enforcement.
And we are also here to ensure that we are informing our consumers, who are critical customers, that the food we produced is good, but we want to improve the quality of that food. That's basically the reason why we are here. So we are looking at all these studies, not only this one, but the previous ones, to inform the policy so that we don't develop this policy on hearsay or imagination. We want to use the empirical data that we can be able to say, we have a challenge here. How do we address it?
Our borders are porous, so we'd still find these pesticides coming in. So what should happen? The Minister of Health, the Minister of Agriculture, PCPB, KFIS, and everybody else, the extension workers, should be able to reach out especially to the outlets where these products are. We shall cascade this, be able to also do surveillance, especially on our market foods. We're also going to to capacity build more our county teams, the public health officers, the agriculture extension officers in all the counties, so that this information does not remain a boardroom discussion, because most of the time you find researches happen.
This study underscores the need to strengthen extension services and enhance training for smallholder farmers to promote good agricultural practices.
Through the National Food Safety Coordination Committee, where the chair is the Minister of Agriculture, the Secretariat is with the Minister of Health, I'm sure this is good news, good pointer for us to see how to ensure that our food is safe for our population. Remember, if it is not safe, it is not food. And if it's not food, it is poison.
Ezekiel Owino reporting for Prime Edition.
This is quite a game. It'll be a free kick. Oh, what a goal! Ecstasy, euphoria, and emotion overflows.
Deep cross, Williams back in, there's the chance, and there is the goal!
It's a wonderful finish, just smashes it into the back of the net, two bodies. Between Molina and Martinez, they've got to deal with it, they don't. It's controlled, side push, powerful finish.
I am Chef Ombachi. Today I'm cooking ugali na Ajab Premium Maize Meal. Boil water, done. Add Ajab Premium Maize Meal. Done. Grab your mwiko and start the mixture. Done. Enjoy the amazing aroma. Enjoy incredibly soft ugali. Done. Ingia ligi ya kipekee na Ajab Premium Maize Meal.
Welcome back to Business News on Prime Edition tonight. Now, an Austrian-based tech startup is utilizing artificial intelligence to provide a smoother and more stable power supply as renewable energy quickly becomes the preferred power source for nations. The company uses artificial intelligence agencies to predict overloads and suggest the fastest way to restore balance. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the borders.
As Europe increases its green energy capacity by installing wind turbines and solar panels, challenges have emerged due to the weather dependency of these sources. Even small fluctuations, a cloud blocking the sun, or a brief period of too little wind can destabilize power networks. However, these problems can be mitigated with intelligent management. Clemens Wozner, founder of the AI Inlight, uses artificial intelligence learning to stabilize power grids, and the system can react faster and evaluate more options than operators switching the grid manually. Meanwhile, the revitalization of the Tanzania-Zambia Railway has gained fresh momentum following the groundbreaking of a training center and an operations control center in Dar es Salaam. The new complex, which will house the two centers, will combine personnel training, dispatch and command, and logistical support under one roof. It will feature educational facilities, including classrooms for theoretical instructions and specialized practical training rooms, and 5 specialized dispatch workstations, as well as communications and comprehensive monitoring systems. Once operational, the center is expected to train large numbers of railway technical professionals for both Tanzania and Zambia and generate substantial employment opportunities. Finally, the former owner of British Steel has said it will pursue the British government for compensation after the loss-making firm was nationalized. The UK took control of the Scunthorpe Steel Works a year ago after China's Jingye Group said it planned to close the site because it was not financially viable and fully nationalized the plant on Thursday. Jingye said it will seek full compensation through legal means to the very end over the UK's move. A government spokesperson said the draft compensation regulations due to be released in the autumn will set out a compensation process which an independent assessor will determine what, if any, is payable. Jingye bought the Lincolnshire Steel plant in 2020, but in March last year, the firm launched a consultation on its closure, saying the plant was losing £700,000 daily. Reporting for KBC, I'm Imelda Muga.
And that's where we put a cap on business news tonight. But don't go too far. Right after this break, Daniel Wahome is bringing you the latest in the world of sports. And don't forget, KBC is your true sports partner. My name is Ndotamo Kami. Do have yourselves a lovely evening.
Join us today and enjoy quick loan approvals, attractive returns on your investment, and unmatched customer experience. Membership is now open to all. Port Sacco, uplifting people.
Slim Nyarawendo SNA Radio Mayiga Mato Marwa.
And a very good evening to you. My name is Daniel Wahome. Welcome to Prime Edition Sport. The stage is now set for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations scheduled to kick off this Sunday in Rabat, with Kenya's Harambee Starlets participating for the second time.
Harambee Starlets, who are acclimatizing in France, will kick off their campaign on Sunday from 11 p.m. against host Morocco in Group A's opening campaign at the Mole El Hassan Stadium. The opening match between Algeria and Senegal will start at 8 p.m. at the Rabat Olympic Stadium. The quarter-finals will take place on the 8th and 9th of August, with the winners advancing to the semi-finals on the 12th of August in Rabat. Teams have everything to play for, as those who will be eliminated in the quarter-finals will still remain in the contest for the FIFA Women's World Cup 2027 playoffs on the 13th of August in Casablanca. Harambee Starlets are targeting nothing short of qualification in the Women's World Cup to emulate the Junior Starlets who qualified for their second World Cup this year. Meanwhile, back in Kenya, the FIFA Elite MA referee course kicked off today, bringing together Kenya's top officials for a week of intensive learning, practical sessions and professional development.
And Kenya Pipeline women's volleyball team successfully retained their National League title during the final playoffs held at Kasarani, as Kenya Ports Authority were crowned as the men's league champions for the first time.
Kenya Pipeline volleyball team faced off with former champions Kenya Prisons in the final best-of-3 series to lose their first match 3-1 before they recovered to the tie 1-1 with a straight sets, resounding victory of 25-12, 25-21 and 25-18 respectively. They eventually won their series of 2-1 after they beat Prison in the third game in sets of 25-22, 25-23 and 25-22 respectively in the final decider. The National Men's League title was won by KPA for the first time after they beat Chema 3-0 in their maiden season. Attention now shifts to the Kenya Cup quarterfinals from Friday this week.
And Ukwasini Men's Football Club will take on Masii United in the Captain Irene Ndanu Soccer Tournament Finals, set to be held on the 2nd of August in Machakos County. Ukwasini qualified after a 2-0 win over Atletico Seals in the men's semi-final, one before Masii outshined Mamba FC in the other semi-final. Following their losses respectively, Atletico Seal will play Mamba in the third place playoff match. In the ladies category, Ukwasini Queens will take on Ukalani Starlets in the finals, while Joska Starlets take on Malkia Queens in the third place playoff match. The tournament is aimed to grow and nurture talents at the grassroots level, with the winners walking out with 1 million shillings. And Meru County Governor Isaac Muchuma has urged young people to embrace sports as a tool for personal growth while steering clear of drug abuse, gender-based violence and teenage pregnancies. Speaking during the finals of the Meru Governor Isaac Muchuma Super Cup at Kenoru Stadium, Muchuma said the tournament was established to nurture talent while addressing social challenges affecting the youth. Former Manchester United midfielder said Kenya has immense football talent capable of competing on the global stage if properly nurtured, urging young players to pursue the sport. Former Harambee Stars captain Musa Otieno, who also attended the finals, encouraged the youth to view sports as a career.
Approximately 7,000 attendants, especially the young people. We are integrating and ensuring that we meet together as a county, as a community, to speak especially issues and discuss on issues that affect us as a community.
This is an opportunity for the young lads who have been given a free opportunity. There is an incentive, which I believe that for them to get good mentorship through that incentive which they're going to get, it means that in the next 2 years, that money needs to go to another level. They need to have a business because football is a short career.
I'm very happy to be here. It's amazing. People treat me very well. I'm very happy to see a lot of talents.
And Spain are the 2026 FIFA World Cup champions after beating 10-man Argentina by a goal to nil in the final match played at the New York, New Jersey Stadium in the United States. Following the win, Spain became the first nation to ever be crowned the men's and women's world champions at the same time.
At this World Cup, Porro looking to get through like he did against France. Didn't get his free kick there. Gonzalez didn't get his control right for Argentina. Oh, here's Williams. And it's 3-on-3. Yamal is free at the back post. Nico Williams goes alone. And Martinez makes a save. And there's a crunching tackle. It's not a great one. It's another yellow. And it's a second yellow for Enzo Fernandez. Argentina reduced to 10. Marino and Rodri are in front of the Argentina wall. It's Yamal, and it's another save from Martinez. Pedri for Williams. It's a good-looking ball in, and again Spain come close. Marino off target. Zubimendi to Yamal. It's a deep cross. Williams back in, there's the chance, and there is the goal! Ferran Torres makes the breakthrough.
Well, Spain, FIFA World Cup champions for the second time, 16 years later. And one message from us at KBC Sport: thank you for trusting KBC as your true sports partner. And that's the sport for tonight. Back to you, Tom and Irene.
Well, that's a good place to bring this to a close. We want to thank you, all of you from wherever you're watching, in Kenya, in the sub-Saharan belt, in the continent of Africa, and around the world. We're always very delighted that you make Prime Edition your channel of choice. Well, we have to leave now. I want to really, really also appreciate the back-end team. You don't get to see them, you just get to see me and Muchuma. But it's because of them that we're able to pull this off. So until tomorrow, you want to read just
a few acknowledgements. Actually, we have got so many feedback on our social media platforms, and we do appreciate your company and your feedback as well. Frank Ngatia, thank you for keeping it KBC Channel 1, and also for your feedback on the story on school capitation deadline. Also Chris Boba, Samuel Magori. The list could go on and on, but let's put a cap at that point.
That's right. It could go on and on till the break is done. Yeah. We're going to be back again tomorrow at the same time, same place. So please make a date with us on behalf of everybody. Thank you. I'm Tom Mboya. See you tomorrow.
I am Muchuma Irene. Our sign language expert tonight is Anu Wangeshi. God bless you. Be well.
Bye-bye.
Your home is one of your greatest investments. Have you purchased a domestic package cover? The policy covers residential building against damage by floods, fire and lightning, and other